Welcome back to another episode of The Clockmaker's Secret, a hidden machine and a shocking visitor, episode 3. Clara Bell sat in the workshop's single creaky chair, the photograph of her grandfather and the mysterious woman Eleanor resting in her lap. The air had grown cooler as evening settled in, and the clocks outside ticked in slow unison as though urging her forward. She stared at the image again. Eleanor. The name stirred something vague and soft in her chest, like a tune she couldn't quite remember. Who was she? Why had Arthur never mentioned her? Setting the photo aside, Clara turned her attention to the blueprints from the drawer. Most were standard diagrams of gears and escapements, but one was different. It wasn't a clock, not exactly. It looked like a schematic for something much more elaborate. At the top of the page, in her grandfather's careful handwriting, was a title: The Memory Engine. Clara whispered the name aloud. The design was unlike anything she had ever seen. It resembled a tall cabinet with clock faces embedded in its doors, each labeled not by hours but by years: 1956, 1967, 1982. Some were scratched out, others circled. Along the side was a note. Each tick recalls a moment. Turn only what you wish to remember. Clara's breath caught in her throat. She rose and scanned the workshop, her eyes finally settling onto a tall, cloth covered shape in the corner, something she had overlooked in the dim light. Her heart quickened. With both hands, she pulled back the cloth. There it was, the very machine from the blueprint. Towering, intricate, and impossibly delicate. Dozens of small knobs and hands lined its surface. Beneath, a glass panel were tiny sliding drawers labeled with dates, and underneath that, a brass lever marked Engage Memory. The machine was lifeless now, but it hummed with potential. Clara reached for a small brass panel near its base and found another note tucked behind it. This one read, "You asked me once why I work with clocks. Because some memories are too precious to lose to time. Find Eleanor. She's the reason this machine was built." Clara's pulse thudded in her ears. There was more to her grandfather than riddles and silence, much more. And now she could feel the weight of the story pressing forward, like time itself leaning in. But just as she folded the note, she heard it again, a sound from the front of the shop, a door creaking open. She froze. Had she locked it? Footsteps, slow, careful. Someone else was here. Clara stepped lightly into the front room, the ticking of the clocks now sharp in her ears. A figure stood in the doorway, silhouetted by the street lamp's glow. Not a stranger, a boy. 16, maybe 17, with a mop of curly hair and an old leather satchel slung over his shoulder. He looked just as surprised to see Clara as she was to see him. Sorry, he said quickly. I didn't mean to. The door was open." Clara took a cautious step forward. "Who are you?" The boy hesitated. My name is Leo Harper." Clara blinked. "Harper?" He nodded. "Arthur was my great grandfather." Clara stared, in fact stunned. Time didn't just move forward or back. Sometimes It looped. New faces, old secrets, and a machine that may unlock memories lost to time. Clara's not alone in this journey anymore, but the deeper they go, the stranger the past becomes. Stay with me for the next episode of The Clockmaker's Secret, to be continued.